Hey guys, it's me. It's Queen Aset Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Asking Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Alright guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and pass it on to somebody else who may like it as well. Also, if you have time, please drop us a comment in the comment section. I would love it if you would address today's topic. Today we're going to discuss the Aquarius, and they're the opposite of a lot of people in this way because we do not love company when we're in misery. I'll explain a little bit more. So, you guys all have heard that famous saying, misery loves company, okay? And in a lot of cases it does. You all know somebody who always has a sob story. Every time you talk to them, every time you see them, something more tragic has happened than the last time that something tragic has occurred. Okay? It's like they constantly have a sob story. And this kind of person likes you to engage in their misery. They want you to feel sorry for them. They want you to pity them in some cases. And it's constant. It's not the normal amount of life things that happen to the average person. So you know this person is more than likely either over dramatizing or only picking out the most, they're probably pessimistic in the mind. So they're constantly picking out the most horrible things, to talk about. And because they're so pessimistic and they're vibrating in such a way, they're constantly drawing to them more and more awful situations. So sometimes they're exaggerating and sometimes they're just creating a very hellish life for themselves. So every time you see them, something else horrible has occurred. So some people, when they're in these situations, they either want you to hold their hand through the misery or they want you to be miserable too. So if you're happy or you're doing well for yourself, or if you're making money, you're making moves, they're jealous. They got something to say about you behind your back. They don't want to be around you. All kinds of attitudes, issues, and unnecessary bullshit. You see? So some people are like that, and like I said, some people just want everybody to be miserable because they are. Aquarius is not the kind of person that wants company. Aquarian misery wants no company. I saw people talking about this the other day in one of the groups, and I was like, that's 100% true. Aquarius, we like to be alone with our misery. We are the kind of people, most of us anyway, that we like to figure out things for ourselves. And many of us are so independent that we like to fix things for ourselves, figure out things for ourselves. We like to do things ourselves. And if we're in a funky mood, we don't want to be around other people with our funky mood. One of the things I always tell my Scorpio daughter is, you are responsible for the energy that you bring into a room. So if you're feeling funky, if you're feeling moody, if you're feeling nasty, if your energy's feeling gook, the average Aquarius who is of high vibration doesn't want to bring that and doesn't believe in bringing that to other people. Again, you're responsible for the energy that you bring into a situation. So why would you come into a party and start crying or being, depressed? If you're not in that vibration for that particular event, go to a different space or stay home. That's the mind of the Aquarian. So if I'm feeling funky, if I'm feeling attitudey, I'm not going to come around other people. I don't want to be around other people with my energy. First of all, for them, I think it's a courtesy to them, first of all. And second, the Aquarius is thinking about me. If I'm feeling bad, I don't feel like being social and doing the niceties, and being politically correct. I don't want to, if I'm feeling bad, I don't want to do all that social shit that we've all trained each other to do. I never really want to do it anyway, and most of the time I don't. But even to the little extent that I do, I don't even want to do that. I'm feeling funky. I want to deal with myself. I want to deal with my emotions. I want to deal with me. And as an Aquarius, one thing about us, if we're dealing with our emotions or not, we're not always open to sharing them with other people, and we're not always open to being around other people when we're in that energy. Generally, we want to go do whatever is going to soothe us, and being around a bunch of people or something like that is not going to soothe us. What soothes us is solitude. When Aquarius is hurting or angry or frustrated, solitude is what's going to soothe us, because we probably have some kind of coping mechanisms. Music, 9 times out of 10, is a big one. I used to listen to music and cry, or listen to music and scream. Just music, is one of those kind of things that will help me get my energy out, get those emotions out. So some of us use music. Some of us will go drink something, smoke something, watch something on TV, all kinds of little things, Many of us like to do creative things, like maybe something healthy, or, painting, or, exercising, things like that. We all have different things that we like to do to get our head right when we're upset. And being around people, even if it's one person, because I was talking to somebody yesterday and she was like, well, why won't the Aquarius just talk about what's bothering him? And I was like, he doesn't want to talk. He doesn't want to talk right now. He doesn't want to talk right now. He doesn't want to explain what happened and talk about. He doesn't want to do that. He wants to deal with it. He wants to pout or do whatever it is he's going to do by himself. And then once we feel better, once we're past it, once we're in a better energy, then we'll talk about it. And sometimes we don't. This is the dangerous part about Aquarius, because some of us, like I said, those of us who are emotionally healthy and high vibrational, when we feel better, then we'll talk about it. We have to get it together inside of ourselves first. But those of us who are used to not being emotionally healthy, detaching from our feelings, not really going there, those Aquarius, they're the ones that are in danger, because they're not going to talk about it, period. They're going to go somewhere, they're going to cope with it, and then they're going to come back like nothing happened. And those, to me, are the Aquarius that I worry about, because those Aquarius don't actually deal with it. They go use their coping mechanism, whatever it may be, and then they move on like nothing happened. And a lot of times all they did really was pacify themselves through the situation, and the situation is not really healed. It's not really resolved. They just pacified themselves enough to feel better, to move on to the next thing. And to me, that's dangerous, because it means that you never dealt with what was actually bothering you. You just found a way to detach from it. You found a way to do something with it, compartmentalize it or tuck it away or something, but you didn't actually deal with it. And the ones who do deal with it might talk about it afterwards. Some of the times, after it's over, after I've dealt with it, I don't want to talk about it anymore. Done dealt with it, I'm done with it. But see, for me, one thing that I know about being Aquarius, and I say this to my Aquarius, I always tell them, you have to, even though these are times when you really don't want to talk, these are the times that the person that's in your life, your significant other, needs you to say something. You can't just shut down, because we'll just shut down. You can't just shut down. You got to say, look, I need some space. Look, I'm not feeling too good. Look, I need to be alone for a while. I'm frustrated. I need to get my head together. And the other person has to have enough security. The other person has to have enough compassion to be like, okay, the Aquarius is feeling something. They're a little bit upset, and back off without making the Aquarius feel bad or asking 20 questions or making it about you. These are the reasons why Aquarius don't say it. Because when I tell Aquarius, use your words, tell the person you need some space, tell the person how you're feeling, they're like, Queen, I do, but then they get upset. They're mad. They want me to talk. They want to know why I won't. It just continues. So as the person that's in a relationship with the Aquarius, I would say accept that. When the Aquarius comes and says, I need some space, just accept it. Say, okay, come back and let me know what's up when you feel better. But a lot of people don't do that. They go into some form of insecurity, or questioning. And at that moment, that's the last thing the Aquarius wants. So Aquarius misery does not like company. It's kind of like when your house not clean, you don't want nobody coming over. That's how the Aquarius looks at it a lot of times. So if your Aquarius does that to you, don't feel like it's them shutting you out. Don't feel like it's something wrong. They just need some space. Okay? All right, guys, it's time for me to get going. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and pass it on to somebody else who may like it as well. Also, if you would like to get a reading done, please email me and I will hook you up. Also, I love presents. That is my love language. So my PayPal and my Amazon wish list are underneath this video, as well as everywhere you can possibly contact me, and my Patreon page, where I have a whole new video series that I've really been having a lot of fun doing. So check out my Patreon page. For as little as $5 a month, I think it's $5, you can become a patron and have access to all of the exclusive videos that I only release on Patreon. All right, guys, see you later.